On behalf of the Active Lifestyles program, I would like to welcome you to the 2021 Lifelong Citizenship Awards Ceremony. We typically hold this event live with family and friends gathered to celebrate. But for everyone's safety, we are celebrating their accomplishments remotely. Today, we are recognizing 10 individuals, all over the age of 90, for their unwavering commitment to serving the citizens of Newport News. Please join us as we recognize and give thanks to our honorees for their lifetime of support. It is my pleasure to introduce Michael Poplawski, the Director of Newport News Parks, Recreation, and Tourism.
Hello, I'm Michael Poplawski, Director of Parks, Recreation, and Tourism. I want to welcome you to the 14th Annual Lifelong Citizenship Award Program, where we're going to recognize and honor some very special residents of Newport News. While past programs have involved a luncheon where city officials and friends and family members have gathered to celebrate the many contributions of our honorees in person, I'm sure it comes as no surprise this year that because of the coronavirus pandemic, this year's program, as was the case last year, is being held virtually for everybody's safety. And while we're all disappointed not being able to celebrate with this year's honorees in person, we do look forward to things getting back to normal and having our 2020 and 2021 recipients attend next year's program in person, along with our 2022 honorees. Just a little bit about the Lifelong Citizenship Award Program. This annual recognition ceremony was developed by the city's Parks, Recreation, and Tourism Active Lifestyles Program and our Active Lifestyles Advisory Committee. This year's event, as I mentioned earlier, marks the 14th year that the program has been held. Since the program began in 2008, and including this year's honorees, 172 special people have been recognized. 10 individuals with ages ranging from 90 years old to 101 years of age are being recognized as part of this year's program. This annual ceremony recognizes residents based on 3 criteria. First, they must be citizens of Newport News. And second, they must be at least the age of 90. In other words, either a nonagenarian, that is someone in their 90s, or a centenarian, achieving an age of 100 or over. While age and residency are the initial qualifiers for being recognized, I believe the third criteria is the most important consideration. And this final qualifier is best summed up by a quote from Peter Marshall, the well-known pastor who served 2 appointments as chaplain of the United States Senate. It was Marshall who noted, "The true measure of a life is not in its duration, but in its donation." So beyond being a resident of Newport News or achieving the age of 90 or beyond, to be recognized for this special recognition and honor requires recipients to have made a significant contribution to their community during their lifetime. When you hear the background summaries for each of these honorees, which will be read shortly, I think you'll quickly agree that their donation of time and talent, and even in many cases, I'm sure their treasures, have been very significant in making the city of Newport News a better place to live, to work, and to raise a family. At this time, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Mr. Bill Massey, who is President and CEO of the Peninsula Agency on Aging, for some remarks.
Hi, I'm Bill Massey, President and CEO of the Peninsula Agency on Aging. The Lifelong Citizenship Awards Ceremony is an event I look forward to each year with great anticipation. To be in the presence of a group of individuals who for 90 plus years have been an influence for good in our community is a privilege. I'm always amazed by your individual accomplishments and the collective good you have done and continue to do for your fellow citizens. I could not help but notice that Edythe Lichtenstein and Virginia Gall are among this year's honorees. Edythe served on the PAA Board of Directors for 6 years, and Virginia continues to serve on the PAA Advisory Council. I thank you for your service to PAA and older adults in Newport News and on the Peninsula. And we're grateful to all of the honorees for your service to our community. At this time, I would like to recognize Carla Veney, Recreation Specialist with the Active Lifestyles Program, with a performance of You Were Loved.
We all want to make a place in this world. We all want our voices to be heard. Everyone wants a chance to be someone. We all have dreams we need to dream, sweeter than any star you can reach. 'Cause when you reach and find you have found someone, you hold this world's most priceless gift. The greatest treasure that there is when you look back and know you are loved. Oh, you are loved by someone, touched by someone, held by someone, meant something to someone, love somebody, touch somebody's heart along the way. You can look back and say, you are loved. Yes, you are now. You can have diamonds in your hand, have all the riches in the land, but without love, you don't really have a thing, no, no. When somebody cares that you're alive, when somebody trusts you with their life, that's when you know that you have all you need. You hold this world's most priceless gift, the finest treasure that there is. You can look back and know you are loved. Oh, you are loved by someone, touched by someone, held by someone, meant something to someone, love somebody, touch somebody's heart along the way. You can look back and say, you are loved. So many roads that you can take, whatever way you go, don't take that road alone. It's better you should know you are loved by someone, touched by someone, held by someone, meant something to someone, love somebody, touch somebody's heart along the way. You can look back and say, you did okay. You were loved. So remember to tell that special one that you are loved. You're loved. You're loved. You're loved. Ooh.
Thank you, Carla. At this time, it gives me great pleasure to introduce the mayor of the city of Newport News, the Honorable McKinley L. Price.
Hello, Newport News. I am honored to be here virtually to recognize our lifelong citizens. Contrary to the name, these are not people who have lived in Newport News their entire lives, although some of them have. This award recognizes men and women for their lifetime of commitment and selfless deeds that enhance the lives of others in our city and beyond. Like many of you, I am disappointed we can't gather in person again this year. I enjoy attending the Lifelong Citizen event to meet our recipients and their families. Being able to talk to our honorees, learn about their incredible accomplishments, and hear their stories is truly the highlight of my year. There is an upside to doing this virtually, though. Family and friends from around the world can tune in to cheer on their loved ones. We hope that others will watch this and be inspired by the incredible achievements of our honorees. And I know you will be motivated by this impressive group of lifelong citizens. The 2021 honorees have served the city for over 445 combined years. Recipients include the organizer of the first young Judeo group for teens in the city, a World War II veteran who has helped build 3 homes for the Habitat for Humanity, one of the longest-serving volunteers of the Virginia Living Museum, the woman who is known as the city's Queen of Good Deeds, and so much more. The accomplishments of our honorees are too many to list, and I know if I tried, they would be embarrassed. These individuals have unselfishly dedicated their time and talents to make our city a better place to live. They didn't do it for recognition. They did it because they were called to serve. They blazed a path right here in Newport News, dedicating themselves to their family, faith, and community. Our honorees uplifted others and created the change needed to make our community more inclusive and welcoming to all. They have spoken on behalf to those who are often overlooked and marginalized, stood up for those who were knocked down, and never gave up on those deemed hopeless. One of our honorees, Miss Flemmie Alfred, stated, "I was a mother to many who needed me and helped seniors who did not have a family or friends in the area." This statement beautifully captures the spirit of our honorees, who have shown that one act of kindness can change a person's world. Today, we honor people whose love for their community has transformed lives. The 2021 Newport News Lifelong Citizen honorees are Flemmie Alfred, Virginia Gall, Frances Huggard, Edythe Lichtenstein, Pearl Morris, Ruby Smith, Mary Spells, Albert Jack Stodghill, Shirley Tyler, and Rosetta Young. You each have left a mark on our great city, and the wisdom, guidance, and love you continue to share encourages and inspires others, myself included. When reflecting upon the value of volunteering, Ms. Spells said, "There is always room for more to be done, and I am blessed to have the gift of service. I will continue to serve as long as possible." This statement is even more powerful because Ms. Spells is 90 years young. On behalf of the City Council and the citizens of Newport News, I am humbled to thank each of our recipients for their lifelong commitment to our great city. We appreciate your lives of dedication and service to Newport News. We are a stronger, more vibrant city because of you. I am proud to now read the proclamation recognizing these incredible honorees. Whereas the City of Newport News recognizes individuals for their lifetime of commitment, caring, and collaboration to enhance the lives of the citizens of Newport News. And whereas the Newport News Department of Parks, Recreation, and Tourism and the Active Lifestyles Program Advisory Committee appreciate the dedication of these individuals and recognize the many contributions they have delivered to improve the quality of life for others. And whereas these individuals have served the City of Newport News and their respective communities as leaders, advocates, role models, educators, and volunteers for over 445 years combined, in an unselfish and dedicated manner since 1951. And whereas these individuals have a strong commitment and an unwavering spirit to give freely, willingly, and cheerfully of their time and talents in assisting charitable, social, civic, and religious organizations on behalf of their communities. And whereas the City of Newport News recognizes each one for their contributions they have made over the many years of service to the community. Now, therefore, I, McKinley L. Price, Mayor of the City of Newport News, Virginia, do hereby recognize and honor the 2021 Lifelong Citizenship Award honorees: Flemmie Alfred, Virginia Gall, Frances Huggard, Edythe Lichtenstein, Pearl Morris, Ruby Smith, Mary Spells, Albert Jack Stodghill, Shirley Tyler, and Rosetta Young, for their many years of distinguished service and generosity bestowed upon the citizens of this city. May each of you continue to inspire others and touch many more lives in the years ahead. Thank you for your service, and may God continue to bless each of you.
Flemmie V. Alfred, age 91, was born on August 28, 1930, and has been an important part of civic duty for over 30 years, serving the citizens of Newport News in many capacities. She volunteered for the North District Town Hall meetings, where she assisted with registration and hospitality. She further served citizens with the One City Celebration Holiday Food Drive, as well as at Rich Neck Elementary School as part of the Grandparent Reading Group. Her daily tasks included providing transportation for both children and seniors that needed rides to school, appointments, and errands. Known for her warmth and kind-hearted nature, she never knew a stranger. She stated, "I was a mother to many who needed me, and I helped seniors who did not have family or friends in the area." Virginia D. Gall, age 90, was born on October 30th, 1930, and contributed over 50 years of service to local agencies and organizations in Newport News. As one of the longest-serving volunteers for the Virginia Living Museum, she exhibited supreme dedication to her duties and the mission of the museum. In addition to her love of nature, she is a kind and supportive member of the community. Her service with the Peninsula Agency on Aging included delivering Meals on Wheels to homebound citizens and a member of the advisory committee. Her community service extends to the Noland Memorial Methodist Church Soup Kitchen and the United Methodist Women's Group, where she continues to share both physical and spiritual support to women. Ms. Gall stated that one person can make a difference. I like to give back. Volunteering makes the city better, and it helps me to become a better person. I am fortunate to be able to serve. Frances E. Huggard, age 90, was born on February 17, 1931, and contributed over 34 years of service to the citizens of Newport News. She served as a member of the Les Femmes Civic and Social Club, distributing aid and support to the community. Her assistance with the E-House Incorporated provided social and economic support, as well as food aid to improve the quality of life of citizens. As a dedicated deaconess emeritus at Emmanuel Baptist Church, she aided the community through ministry and visits to those who were sick or homebound. When asked about the benefits of volunteering, Mrs. Huggard said, "Receiving joy and pleasure in helping someone else, as well as the experience of meeting and working with new people." Edythe S. Lichtenstein, age 95, was born on September 14, 1925, and has been an integral member of the community while serving on numerous boards and committees. As a member of Rodolph Sholem Temple and the United Jewish Community of Virginia for 85 years, she spent a lifetime nurturing youth, supporting family services, and providing for the local food bank. Mrs. Lichtenstein is a trendsetter when it comes to her support of the Newport News community. At an early age, she organized the first Young Judea group for teens in the city. She has since been a part of many organizations, including the Peninsula Agency on Aging's Board of Directors, American Field Service for Newport News Schools, Ferguson Center for the Arts, Riverside Civic League, the Longwood Garden Club, and various hospitality groups for soldiers during World War II and Desert Storm. Best known as an ethical realtor, she made dreams come true for her clients. Mrs. Lichtenstein stressed gratification in helping people achieve their dreams, appreciation for what I have been blessed with, and a fulfillment in acquiring lifelong friends and extended family relationships. Pearl E. Morris, age 96, was born on March 6, 1925, and spent over 17 years with the Triumph Christian Center as a senior helper, providing food, clothing, meals, transportation, and shopping support. Offering her reading and organizational skills to the Golden Age Club, she provided services to those in need. As a member of First Church of Newport News Baptist, Mrs. Norris dedicated her time to the Feed the Hungry program, the choir, and as a hospitality greeter. She is known as a positive role model and is willing to help anyone in need of assistance. When asked what she gained from her experience, she said, "A lot of friends and a positive attitude." Ruby S. Smith, age 90, was born December 15, 1930, and is a dedicated resident of the North Newport News community and has been an active member of the North Newport News Civic League. Her love and support of this community has provided a safe and comfortable place to reside. As a member of Garden of Prayer Apostolic Church for 62 years, she was instrumental in teaching, fundraising, and visiting the sick. She is known for her culinary skills and for happily sharing her cuisine with others. In addition, her efforts with Centera Nursing Home's ministry program, she provided support for the residents. Even though Mrs. Smith is known as the Queen of Good Deeds, she feels that the experience of volunteering gave her so much more. She said, "Meeting so many diverse people from the community and the city gave me a sense of accomplishment." Mary F. Spells, age 90, was born January 24, 1931, and found time as a retired teacher, principal, and reading specialist with Newport News Public Schools to devote over 40 years to community service. Her love of teaching extended into her volunteer time to include tutoring and mentoring youth during a summer reading program with Newport News Redevelopment and Housing Authority. She did advocacy work with the Christian literacy program Operation Breaking Through, as well as assisting adults with GED preparation. Her most memorable service project included securing scholarships for high school students to attend college. She continues mission work with Love in Action, providing meals to families in need during Thanksgiving and Easter. When asked about the value of volunteering, Mrs. Spells stated, "There is always room for more to be done, and I am blessed to have the gift of service. I will continue to serve as long as possible. Albert J. Jack Stodghill, age 94, was born on October 4, 1926, and came to Newport News, Virginia in 1961 to serve as the Director of City Planning for the next 14 years. During this time, he established the city's first comprehensive planning program to include the Oyster Point Business District, Hilton Village Historic District, and Newport News Park. An integral member of Sister Cities of Newport News, he represented Newport News during a visit to the sister city of Greifswald, Germany. He is an author of 2 books, The Making of a City and 100 Years of First United Methodist Church. As a member of First United Methodist Church, he helped build 3 Habitat for Humanity homes. His service also expands to the Army Air Corps during World War II. Shirley M. Tyler, age 91, was born on March 10, 1930, and contributed over 57 years of service to the North Newport News Civic League. As block captain, she planned neighborhood activities and promoted community beautification efforts. Her time as hospitality chair for the Peninsula chapter of North Carolina A&T State University provided scholarships to area students attending the university. Since 1965, she served the Les Femmes Social and Civic Club, which included hospitality chair to promote the community projects. During her 81 years of membership with the Union Baptist Church, she served on the usher and mission ministries, the choir, and president of the beautification ministry. Mrs. Tyler said, "Volunteering gave me the opportunity to connect with neighbors and make the city a better place to live." Rosetta R. Young, age 101, was born June 16, 1920, and has volunteered for over 52 years in many capacities with the Second Baptist Church East End. During this time, her cooking talents were put to good use with the Alliance of the Blind, Annual Vacation Bible School, the 50+ Committee, the Women's Auxiliary, as well as several mission and community outreach services, including area nursing home ministries. Mrs. Young is known for unselfishly dedicating her services to the church and the community. She never said no to preparing a pie, cake, or a meal for a sick or shut-in member. Known as a woman of faith, she puts others ahead of herself for the sake of bringing joy to their hearts and food in their bodies. As we conclude the 2021 Lifelong Citizenship Awards Ceremony, we recognize the strength of character and compassion that each year's recipient so generously gives to the citizens of Newport News. The Active Lifestyles program has a deep appreciation for each honoree who has always felt that what they were doing is just something that needed to be done, to be a kind neighbor, to lend a helping hand, and to be a caring citizen that moves their community in the right direction. Moving forward to next year's awards ceremony, we know that the caring commitment that each new recipient will have so generously given will live up to the standards of the 172 honorees of the past 14 years. We thank them.